Hello and welcome to the Internet Advertising Podcast. I'm your host Michael Gogg, and today I'd like to tell you about email newsletters, why it's worth having one, and the basic steps you need to follow to set one up. You might think email newsletters are a thing of the past, but they're actually doing pretty well. It might not be the heyday like 10 years ago, but you can still get a lot of clicks and traffic from people clicking on your emails. Several years ago, most people thought that emails wouldn't be needed at all because you had fans on Facebook, somebody liked your page, and then you could easily contact them. But the truth is, most of your fans don't see the content you post, and Facebook wants you to pay in order for everybody to see your content. So, email is the cheapest form you can use to reach people that decided they were interested in your products, in your website, in what you have to offer. It's fairly easy to get several % click-through rates on the emails. So if you have about 10,000 subscribers, for example, that's not too hard to get. You can get a couple of hundred clicks to your website, to your offer, to an affiliate link for each email you send. That's pretty nice. Let's start with the steps you need to follow to set up an email newsletter. When I give some very specific examples, it will probably be from GetResponse because that's the service I use, but most services more or less have the same options at this basic level. So the first thing you need is a sign-up form. You can have a web page where you gather the email addresses. You can create your own HTML. Most services also offer landing page creators. It doesn't really matter which type you use. You need traffic coming to that website. If it's going to be people coming from links on your website, or if it's going to be people coming from ads directly to the landing page, those are things to think about later, but I just want to tell you how to set this up. So, you have a sign-up form. Somebody enters your email address. You need an incentive for somebody to do that. You want to send them offers, information about your page. They won't always be interested just in that. So there are a couple of approaches. Some people would like to offer you a white paper or access to some other type of PDF you can download if you enter your email address. The truth is, if they're entering your website and an email address on your website just to get that free content, that's a popular method, but they won't necessarily be interested in your newsletter. So I think a better approach would be for them to be interested in your newsletter, for you to tell them what the newsletter is about, and then they willingly enter the email address to get that newsletter, the info you're sharing. So what can you offer in your newsletter that will make people want to receive it? Well, it can be some sort of online course. For example, you're going to teach them how to do something, spread that knowledge out into a couple of emails or more than a couple of emails, and they'll gladly receive that to find out, to learn something. It can be also promotions. If you have an online store, people might willingly enter that to find out about sales that happen or specific product categories. It can also be, if you have a better system, more advanced, information about a product that's out of stock right now, and they'll enter the email to get that information. And at the same time, they might subscribe to your newsletter to find out about different products that are related to that product. You might be an affiliate and not be selling anything directly, but if a person is interested in a certain type of product, they might sign up for your newsletter to get offers of that product from different vendors. You might have a short description of the product and offer product A, B, C, and D, all of which are very similar, but are produced by different companies. So one day they get the first email and an affiliate link to that product. In a couple of days, they get the second product. They might actually be waiting for those emails and for the long descriptions of the products because that's something interesting to them and they're actually looking to buy the product. When you're creating a sign-up form, you have to choose if you will have single opt-in or double opt-in. Single opt-in is when people enter their email address, click join or whatever text is on your button, and then you start sending them emails. The problem with that is that somebody might enter a typo in the email and actually enter somebody else's email address. Or they might enter somebody else's email address on purpose. And if that person who didn't actually sign up starts getting the emails, they might treat it as spam, report you as being spammed. Sometimes, and that happens often, somebody might forget that they entered their email and you have no way of proving that they are the ones that actually did it. They might deny that they did it. And you're also being accused of spam, which can be a problem because you'll get blocked by some email providers and you might also have some legal trouble. The upside of that is that you can start sending emails to the people that enter their email in the sign-up form, and you're not losing anybody else on the next step of confirming. You have a next step when you have double opt-in. That means somebody enters their email address in your sign-up form, then they get an email automatically sent from your email provider that says, please click this link to confirm. I'm sure you've gotten emails like that. And only when they click on that link do they start getting more emails. Now, the upside of that is that you know they've definitely entered their own email because they have access to the email account. If later on they say you're spamming them, you can tell them that they got an email and clicked the link from a certain IP address at a certain date. So you basically have proof logs that they wanted to get the emails. The downside is a lot of people will not click. First of all, your confirmation email might get lost in spam. They might forget it. They might change their mind. In most newsletters I run, only about 40% of the people that actually enter the email confirm. That is a lot of lost people. So you have to figure out which do you want, which type of opt-in you'd like to choose. Do you want more people, but with the risk of somebody accusing you of spam and you having problems? Or if you want the safe way, double opt-in. Now, in Europe, in the face of GDPR, it's probably a lot safer to do double opt-in because you have their confirmation that you're not misusing their data, that you didn't take the email from some other source or maybe buy it and just started sending email to them. So I think it's a lot safer to do double opt-in, but it is true that it's annoying when you see that 60% of the people that went to your page were tempted to enter an email address are just lost because they never received any more emails from you. Before I continue, let me tell you about the email provider I use, GetResponse. Try out the free GetResponse list building program. It's an email marketing course that covers everything you need to know to grow your list by up to 10,000 subscribers in as little as 90 days. Go to internetadvertisingpodcast.com/getresponse to find out more about the free course. Like I said, I've been using GetResponse since around 2010. That's 9 years now, and I'm very happy with their service. They have excellent deliverability, and they work hard to help sort out any problems with email providers that might want to mark your marketing emails as spam. They also have very advanced marketing automation and offer A/B testing, email analytics, and more. If you have a larger list, you can opt for GetResponse Enterprise. Your service gets hosted on 2 separate IPs and can handle sending up to 1 million emails in 24 hours. So go to internetadvertisingpodcast.com/getresponse to find out about the free list building program as well as everything else that GetResponse has to offer. Let's get back to creating an email newsletter. Once you have their email addresses, you want to send them an email as soon as possible while they still remember that they signed up. They're fresh. You're fresh in their mind. You want to have an automatic welcome email that goes to them. Now, don't waste this opportunity by just saying, oh, hello, thanks for signing up, and not telling them anything useful. You want to either start teaching them in that welcome email so they see they actually signed up for something useful. Or if you told them you will be sending them some offers, send them some offers right away. Or a description of a product if you're an affiliate. I'm not telling you you should sell very hard, but this might be the only email they read. If they're not interested after this first email, they might never open an email from you. So don't waste the chance on just nothing. Give them good content or give them a link to click on. Give them something to do once they read the email because maybe they'll convert. If you have double opt-in, first email you send will be the confirmation email. Now, you can't have offers in that because if you did that, you'd be spamming. But the link they click to confirm doesn't just have to go to a page that says, oh, thanks for confirming, we'll send something later, because they might not check the email later. Some people are just going to come back after a couple of days, or they might just forget, or the next email might hit their spam box. So when they click confirm and they go to a page, thank them for confirming, but also give them some content that might be useful to them and something they can do. I mean, they're waiting, they clicked, they came back to your website again. Give them an offer they can click on. Give them something to browse or something to add to their carts. They're willing to give you some time, so let them give you money too. Once they've gotten the first email, you want to send them emails automatically the next days. You might not be planning a broadcast, meaning an email to everybody for the next couple of days, but these people just signed up for your list, and the first couple of days or first weeks they're on the list, they'll be the most active usually from all your users. So you're going to set up an email drip meaning or follow-up emails. They might be every day. They might be every couple of days. Now, you'll have to test that out. Some people say that emailing every day is too much, but there are sectors where people are just waiting for information or waiting for the offers, and you can email them every day. I've seen some marketers that email twice a day even. So set up some emails, and depending on what type of newsletter they signed up for, give them the content they wanted, the content you promised, the next day, then after 2 days, maybe after the first several emails, space it out a bit, but make sure they have some content they're getting and some links they can click on and convert. Follow-up emails are good for the first several days, or you can do more follow-ups if you have more content in mind. But after that, you want people still getting your emails. So you'll be doing broadcasts to everybody. You can do that once every couple of days, or maybe once a day, maybe once a week. All depends on your audience. You have to test it out more or less to see what works for you. You probably don't want your email subscribers getting too many emails a day. So it's a good thing to not send all your broadcasts to the people that are still receiving follow-ups. That's pretty easy with email automation that's offered, for example, by GetResponse and by other providers. So the people that are freshly signed up, they get the follow-ups automatically. And once they finish the follow-ups, you can move them to a different list. And when you're sending broadcasts, you send it to that subset of people. So you know they're not getting 2 emails in a day when you actually wanted to send them just one. Now, when you're doing broadcasts, you can, and as well as when you're doing follow-ups, you can test different things. You can test the subjects, of course. Some subjects will work better than others. Most email providers will let you see the open rates, how many people open the email. Now, not everybody is counted because opens are counted by images that are loaded in the emails, but you can compare. If you see one subject that has a double the open rate of another one, it might not be correct in absolute numbers, but you can be sure that the one with the double open rate is probably better. Then you can see the click-through rates. If you have a high open rate, that's not going to help you if nobody clicks through on those emails, meaning there might be something wrong with the content or with the link text. people were interested to look into the email, but then didn't actually do anything with it. You can also test out from fields. It might be that if it's just your company name in the front field, the emails are more likely to get grouped as newsletters, for example, as a Gmail does. But if it's your first name, like me, it's Michael, and then your company name, Google might treat that as a personal email. I've tried it. Sometimes it works, and those emails don't actually get thrown into the newsletters, despite having the characteristics of an email newsletter, but they show up in the normal inbox. That, of course, makes it more likely for people to click and see your email. You can also try whether emails with images perform better or emails with only text. Now, you might associate email newsletters with lots of images, but for example, some newsletters that I run in finance actually perform better if it's text, or if it's even text that looks more or less like somebody's just writing you saying, "Hi, hello, this is something I'd like to offer you." Now, that's actually me writing the email. It's not a personal email because I'm sending hundreds or thousands of those emails, but it is me writing, and I just have text, links in the text, and no images. It seems more personal, and somebody's more likely to click than if they just see a big banner and it looks like another ad that they're seeing. When you're doing text-only emails, that doesn't mean you should just not use HTML. You can use HTML to format the text, to have nice paragraphs, have a nice font, have nice link colors, but just don't use any images. I don't think there's an email client right now that doesn't support HTML. Most email providers let you enter a text-only version, but I don't think anybody's checking email from Linux prompts or something like that. Just in case you can enter that, but have an email version too. Those are the bare basics you need to set up an email newsletter. There's a lot of other subjects I'd like to cover. I'll do that in different episodes. So just go to internetadvertisingpodcast.com/getresponse, set up an account with GetResponse, and start playing around. I'll be releasing more episodes about email newsletters, telling you about automation, about certain tricks you can do with that. But you have to get started first with the basics, and then you can move on to more advanced methods. Thanks for listening to the Internet Advertising Podcast. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you'd like to hear more, be sure to subscribe at Apple Podcasts, Overcast, Spotify, or whichever podcast client you use. Also, you can reach me on Twitter at GocMichael. That's GocMichal. I'd love to hear what you'd like me to talk about. Till next time.